Hey folks, welcome to Shooting Up North. I'm your host, Lewis Carlin. We're here right here on the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're watching for the first time, please consider hitting that subscribe button. If you want to follow me on social media, I'm on Twitter at Shooting Up North, Instagram at Alliance PW Network, and feel free to join our Facebook group, the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. Again, if you're watching for the first time or if you've watched in the past and you don't subscribe, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Okay, so this is Shooting Up North. I'm Lewis Carlin. Let's get into it. Taya Valkyrie done with Impact Wrestling. A new report from PW Insider claims that a former Impact Knockouts champion has wrapped up with the company and is now a free agent. Well, she was always a free agent. She wasn't signed with any company. The report shared that former Impact Knockouts champion Taya Valkyrie has left Impact Wrestling and will be with a new promotion soon. It says here Taya Valkyrie has finished up with Impact Wrestling as of their last TV tapings in Las Vegas. As we noted at the time, Taya was not signed to Impact Wrestling, as I just mentioned. And the word is that she is believed to be signing elsewhere, said the report. She's also a current MLW Women's Featherweight Champion, and she teased a feud with Billy Starks in a recent episode. If Valkyrie is to sign with a new promotion, she would drop this title soon. Probably going to drop it to Delmi Exo in April at War Chamber. That's my prediction. She says, where is she expected to go? On the March 4th episode of AEW Dynamite, TBS champion Jay Cargill issued an open challenge to a Canadian opponent for the next week's episode. It's worth acknowledging that Valkyrie is Canadian, which makes sense for her to accept the challenge. AEW hasn't revealed if she has signed with the company. However, based on her history with the WWE, AEW seems to be where she could sign, especially if it happens soon. I was reading also that WWE has expressed some interest, but it appears that she will be headed to AEW. That's my guess anyway. So Taya Valkyrie gone with Impact Wrestling. See, this is what happens. This is what happens if you're content with bringing in talent and not signing them to a contract. This is what happens. This is what happened. You put the belt on Taya Valkyrie, her and the Death Dolls, and she decides, you know what, I'm going to AEW now, and she's the knockout, one of the knockout tag team champions. This is what happens. The belt should have been put on the Hex. Okay, the belt should have been put on the Hex. When they first had the opportunity, but of course the Hex lost. And now you have Taya Valkyrie, who has wrapped up her time with Impact Wrestling, and she's appears to be headed to AEW. So this is what happens when you bring in talent that you don't sign, that you can't sign, that you try to sign but you can't sign, or if you sign them to like 2 or 3 month deals. It's happened with Mia Yim. Now it's happening with Taya Valkyrie. So Taya Valkyrie no longer with Impact Wrestling. Taya Valkyrie heading to apparently AEW. MLW also gonna suffer from that. She's the current MLW Women's Featherweight Champion. She's probably gonna drop it, as they said, to Del Miexo at War Chamber. I think she's the Lucha Libre AAA Reina the Radiance champion as well. She's with AEW. She could probably hold on to that because there's a working relationship between AEW and Lucha Libre AAA. But yeah, I mean, Impact Wrestling needs to start signing people to contracts. You can't, I understand it's tough now. I've been through that. I did the podcast. It's tougher and tougher and tougher for them to sign people to deals. Now that you have Ring of Honor out there, you have of course AEW. AEW Dark is a place where young talent can go. New Japan Pro Wrestling now, they're in the States. They're looking for new, fresh talent. MLW, Court Bauer, always looking for new talent. So it's tough. It's tough to find talent. What am I disappointed that Taya Valkyrie's leaving? Yeah, a little disappointed. Was it expected? I think it was. I think it was expected. But this really, yeah, that's what happens if you don't get aggressive and offer some decent money contracts. Again, I don't know if they're not offering decent money contracts. I shouldn't say that. I take that back. But this is what happens if you don't get aggressive and sign talent to contracts. Talent, they leave. I know Taya Valkyrie had indicated that she wanted to find a permanent home in 2023, and all signs lead to AEW. Is it the best choice? If she thinks it is, by all means, sign with AEW. I personally think there's too much talent in AEW right now. She could be the flavor of the week. We could see her for the big time match against Jade Cargill. If it is in fact Taya Valkyrie, we might see her for the next 2 or 3 weeks, but then she'll just probably just fade off in the distance for a bit, and then we'll see her again 1 or 2 weeks, and that's basically what probably going to happen. That's probably I could be wrong, but that's what's probably going to happen with Taya Valkyrie. Not diminishing. I'm not trying to diminish her talent or anything like that. She's a tremendously talented wrestler, but AEW stacked with talent. They just sign and sign and sign and sign. So that's the most likely scenario for Taya Valkyrie. But yeah, so she's leaving. Taya Valkyrie is leaving Impact Wrestling. So Impact Wrestling is gonna. I would think that they would want to go out and try to replace her. Not necessarily replace her with someone that they're going to stick into the Death Dolls, but replace her on the Impact Wrestling Knockouts roster. Bring in another Impact Wrestling Knockout. And the perfect the perfect talent to fill the void that's being left by Taya Valkyrie on the Knockouts roster appeared last night on Impact Wrestling. The perfect individual to become an Impact Wrestling Knockouts roster appeared last night on Impact Wrestling, Impact on Access TV. And if you missed this segment, you missed this segment. If you blinked, you might have missed it. I'm talking about Alex Gracia. I was very, very happy to see Alex Gracia in an Impact Wrestling ring. Sure, she got squashed. It was a squash match against Jordynne Grace. But I was very happy. It was a surprise. I wasn't expecting. I didn't get to see all the spoilers because all the spoilers weren't available for the last set of tapings. So I didn't know that Alex Gracia made her Impact Wrestling debut. Alex Gracia is a tremendous young talent. She's 30 years old, but tremendous young talent. And she's wrestled all over the world. She's wrestled for CMLL in Mexico. She's wrestled for Stardom in Japan. She's wrestled in numerous indies all over the states. She's a tremendous young talent with a huge upside. And she has the look and she has the talent. Impact Wrestling should sign Alex Gracia very, very quickly. Because as I said, it's getting very tough for Impact Wrestling. It's going to get tougher and tougher for Impact Wrestling to sign talent with all the promotions that are out there right now. But Impact Wrestling should sign Alex Gracia. And that we'll take a look at Alex Gracia. We'll give her another squash match. We'll take a quick look, and then she disappears, and you don't see her anymore. Much like what happened with Steph The Lander. I'm going to get into Steph The Lander for a second, in a minute, I should say. But Impact Wrestling should, in fact, sign Alex Gracia. She is perfect for the Impact Wrestling Knockouts roster. And man, I was so happy to see her in an Impact Wrestling ring yesterday. I tweeted it out how excited I was. She retweeted it, made me very happy. But she's perfect for the Impact Wrestling Knockouts roster. Taya Valkyrie is leaving. Bring in Alex Gracia. Bring in Alex Gracia to replace Taya Valkyrie on the Impact Wrestling Knockouts roster. And do it now. Don't wait. Don't wait until Tony Khan says, wait, we've had she's been on AEW a number of times as well. I believe she was on a number of episodes of Dark in the past. I think maybe 2021, maybe 2022 as well. But she's been on. I don't want Tony Khan to say, well, she's improving. She's a good young talent. Let's bring her back in and give her another look. Sign her now. Don't wait. Sign her now. Get her into the Impact Wrestling. Get her on the Impact Wrestling Knockouts roster. Bring her in and build her up because she has. I believe she has what it takes to be a top star in the world of professional wrestling, and Impact Wrestling should take that chance on her right now. Now, speaking of Steph The Lander, I don't know if she's signed to Impact Wrestling. If she's not signed to Impact Wrestling, she tweeted out she's about to make a actually this was sent to me by Andrew C. Let me see if I can pull up what he sent me here. And Andrew, thanks a lot for all the updates, man. I really appreciate it. Let me see if I can find what he sent me here on her. No, that's not it. If I can't find it, he sent me something on Steph The Lander. I'm sorry, guys. Let me just see if I could quickly find it here. Okay, I can. Maybe is it here? No, I can't. Anyway, but it was a tweet indicating that she's about to. I don't remember word for word, but that she's about to get a bag of money with Impact Wrestling. And if you go on Wikipedia, Wikipedia says Steph The Lander is signed to Impact Wrestling. Granted, anyone could type that in, but what's her status? What's her status? Is she signed to Impact Wrestling? Is she not signed with Impact Wrestling? Has she signed a contract? She tweeted out she's about to make a lot of money with Impact. I don't know. I would like some clarification on that. So if anybody knows, please give me some clarification on that. If she's signed with Impact Wrestling or not. I think Steph Lander has what it takes to possibly be a star as well. I mean, if you bring in Steph The Lander and Alex Gracia, I think that would be a great move on Impact Wrestling's part. But if anybody knows about Steph The Lander, just uh, maybe you could fill me in. Let me fill me in. But definitely Alex Gracia should be brought in. Impact Wrestling should definitely take a chance on Alex Gracia 100%. Now, let me pull this up here. Deonna Purrazzo, I think I don't know. Deonna Purrazzo might have gotten a little maybe she's a little upset, maybe with Impact Wrestling. With the Impact Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Multi-Universe United. They've announced a number of matches. I'm going to go over the matches shortly. And 2 days ago, they Impact Wrestling tweeted out, Impact Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling present Multiverse United, Only the Strong Survive on March 30th from the Globe Theater in Los Angeles. Order the event exclusively on Fight TV. And Deonna Purrazzo actually responded to that, and she responded to the tweet. She quoted the tweet saying, "Announce the knockouts, please, and thanks." And she's right. She's 100% right. They've announced more matches. They haven't announced any knockouts matches yet. And Deonna Purrazzo is 100% correct. They should announce some knockouts matches. I'm hoping it's knockouts versus Stardom. I think that would be absolutely wonderful. I'm hoping it's Mickie James versus Mercedes Moné. But what are they waiting for? If that's the match, if they're going to do Mercedes Moné versus Mickie James for the Impact Wrestling Knockouts title, and I'm not saying they are, but if they are, what are they waiting for to announce? What are they waiting for? Again, if the match isn't made, then naturally they're not going to announce it. But just say they do have plans for Deonna Purrazzo to meet somebody, go one-on-one with somebody in Stardom. Say Kyrie. Say Kyrie is coming in to challenge Deonna Purrazzo, and they know that. What are they waiting for? Announce the knockouts. Let's get some more knockouts. Let's get a knockouts match announced for Multiverse United. Granted, there's still plenty of time. It's it's 20 days away. I mean, 20 days away. They've announced a few. I think they've announced 6 matches, and there's one website saying that these are all the matches. And I hope that's wrong. I hope it's incorrect, because if they leave the knockouts off this card, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. If they leave the knockouts off this card, they did say when they first announced it that the knockouts will be on the show. And again, I hope it's Impact Wrestling Knockout versus Stardom. I was going to say New Japan Pro Wrestling Stardom, but it's not. It's New Japan Pro Wrestling and Stardom are both owned by Bushiroad. So hopefully if Tam Nakano comes in, Maya Iwatani comes in and takes on Deonna Purrazzo, I think it would be absolutely fantastic. And remember, you don't want to get Deonna Purrazzo upset. We don't want to get Deonna Purrazzo upset because she didn't re-sign with Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling picked up her option for 2023. I'm sure they tried to work out a deal. They weren't able to. You don't want to get Deonna Purrazzo upset, because once her option is done at the end of 2023, she could be out of here too. She could be out of here too, and we don't want that to happen for Impact Wrestling. So you don't want to upset Deonna Purrazzo. You want to keep Deonna Purrazzo as happy as you possibly can. Announce the knockouts. Let's announce a knockouts match. And again, hopefully it's Purrazzo against somebody from Stardom, and it would have to, if they're going to bring in a knockout, it's going to be Mickie James, of course. If they're going to announce a knockouts match, I should say, it's Mickie James, of course, and hopefully love how they better announce Deonna Purrazzo. She's one of the best wrestlers in the world. So Purrazzo and Mickie James certainly should be on this show, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Okay, so more matches were announced for Multiverse United. Let me pull it up here. Let me get the matches. I'm gonna pull up the matches here. Again, it's a little slow. Come on, let's go. Pull up the matches. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Here we go. So this PW Torch. Does anybody know PW? Are they PW Torch? Are they a reputable website? Because they're indicating here that that the full match card has been announced, and they said here we have the full match card for Impact Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling Multiverse United, and there's only 6 matches on here, and there are no knockouts. And if they did announce the full match card already, and there's no knockouts, again, as I said earlier, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. So as we know, Josh Alexander versus Kushida. We knew Mike Bailey versus Will Ospreay, Jeff Cobb versus Moose, and here are the new matches that have been announced. Trey Miguel defending the X Division Championship against Frankie Kazarian, Rich Swann, Kevin Knight, Clark Connors, Rocky Romero. That should be a very, very exciting match. Then we have the Bullet Club defending the Impact Wrestling Tag Team titles against 3 other teams: the Motor City Machine Guns, Aussie Open, and TMDK. Okay, do we have to have a multi-team match? But you already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got a 6-person match for the X Division Championship. Do we have to have a 4-team match for the Impact Wrestling Tag Team Championship? Couldn't you just do Bullet Club against Aussie Open, which would have been an outstanding match, and then Motor City Machine Guns against TMDK? Could you just broke that up, make it 2 separate matches? I think that would have been more appealing to me anyway. I don't know how anybody else feels about that, but I think that would have been more appealing to me. Why do you have to have a multi-team match? Let's see Bullet Club defend the Impact Wrestling Tag Team titles against Aussie Open, or even TMDK and Motor City Machine Guns against Aussie Open. I think that would have been. I think that would have been a little better. That's just my opinion. Then you have Kenta 1-on-1 against Minoru Suzuki. So that's basically New Japan versus New Japan. I'm confused about that one. It's they've met twice before, and in the past, and it should be a terrific match. But why not Kenta versus Sami Callihan and Minoru Suzuki against Steve Maclin? Maclin gets the win over Suzuki. Kenta gets the win over Sami Callihan. It could be step 72 for it could be the design step 72 for Sami Callihan. Kenta versus Callihan. That would have been a terrific match. So I mean, I would have done Kenta, Callihan, Suzuki against Steve Maclin, and I would have broke up the 4-team Impact Tag Team Championship match, and of course I would add 2 or 3 knockouts versus Stardom matches. So hopefully PW Torch is incorrect, and this is not the full match card. Because again, if it is, that's a little disappointing. That's a little disappointing if it is a full match card. Nobody else is calling it the full match card. Hopefully it's not. Actually, let me pull up. Let me check one thing. Should I go to? No, I don't. Wikipedia won't know. I don't want to go to Wikipedia. But anyway, hopefully PW Torch is wrong, and hopefully we get some knockouts. Again, you don't want to piss off. You don't want to get Deonna Purrazzo pissed off. And Steve Maclin's not on this show. That's ridiculous. I know Steve Maclin was campaigning for a match with Kenta, which obviously is not happening now. But even him against Minoru Suzuki would have been outstanding, just outstanding. I hope there are more matches, and that's all I'm going to say about that. And we're going to leave it at that. So anything breaks, any news, of course, I'll be back. But until then, thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye. Stay safe, everyone. So long. Bye-bye.